Most power in Last Epoch comes from gear. So why my completely naked character, even without idols, doing 20k damage per second? Oh yeah, guys. If you want a really cool and one of the most broken builds in Last Epoch, watch closely. Because even after getting some gear, if you can call this level 3 shield gear, our damage is already 55k per second and up to 60k. What? Without good gear, guys. Alright, so first of all, how this class played out. I wanted to make Sorcerer class played like old Diablo 3 build, where you're just running around and spamming this like laser ability. So that's basically what you're doing most of the time. You just come into your mobs and destroying them. Like that, so you don't need to do basically anything. Sometimes you will have like stronger mobs and you will waste some time spamming them. Maybe you will waste some mana and maybe even you will need to like escape from them. So we got some escape abilities. We can teleport, we got shield, and that's basically it. So we're just standing and spamming all over the place. If you like in this playstyle, you will enjoy this build anyway. And yeah, sometimes we getting out of mana completely. In these situations, we got awesome ability where we can just stand in one place and replenish all mana in just like few seconds, so we can continue our journey. Very easy to play. I don't see this build a lot in leaderboards. Basically, I never saw this build anywhere in leaderboards. So my assumption that possibly no one likes this playstyle, or other builds just scale better, so keep this in mind. But still, I'm enjoying playing this build a lot. So how to make this character for yourself? So first of all, let's talk about skills and how this build works and when it starts to work. Your master when you level up in campaign will be Sorcerer, but you can start doing this build a lot more faster than waiting until you hit this mastery. Still, you will have some problems with mana sometime, but again, it's not a big problem most of the time. Bread and butter build, like skill for this build, is Disintegrate. You channeling to create a beam of pure energy in target location. The beam deals fire and lightning damage to all enemies caught in. Also, this scales with lightning and fire damage, with spell damage, damage over time, channeled, and intelligence. You want to focus on channeled and intelligence and spell damage. So pure spell damage, channeled, and intelligent. That's what I'm like telling you about your gear, what to get on gear. Again, you can see my loot filters in description if you want, so make sure to get there after you watch this video. And for now, let's go. So what we want to have on Disintegrate? While Disintegrate is scaling with lightning and fire damage, mostly we're getting only fire 3 and still not in a big amount. And also we're getting this only later in the game. So when leveling this skill, first of all you want to get a little bit in galvanized defense. Basically when you're channeling, you're standing in one place, and this will reduce damage you take when you're standing in one place. But you get into points mostly to just continue in different directions. Instantly you want to go on top, stored power. You won't be able to cast it instantly, you will kinda get cooldown on this spell, but your damage will be 50% more, so that's really nice buff. Then you want to go to the bottom part of this tree and get more damage. Again, basically 3 points over here, 30% more damage. Then you're looking into this tree to get this twin beam and subvention. But there is also another road. Still, I'm feeling fine by getting twin beam over here. Basically, you splitting your beam into 2 beams, you upping your channel cost and lowering your damage. But 2 beams means you hitting like almost like 50% more damage with each beam, combined of course. So finally you're getting some vengeance, so it's just 2 levels over here, and you will gain mana on kill, while spending more mana for channeling. If you're killing a lot of little monsters, and there's a lot of little monsters in campaign, you will go through campaign really easily and you will gain mana on kill, so it will be a lot easier to gain like and keep your mana. Then you want to go into this fire directory and get Magni 5, you will get ignite chance per second. But again, we're not focusing on fire too much, we want to go over here, so get 2 points in Magnify first and then get Lucomancer. While channeling, you have this buff which grants increased damage and reduce all mana cost. basically reducing channeling cost by 40%. Now it's a lot easier to keep this channeling going, and you will be like completely fine from this position. Then get one more point in Magnify to unlock Escalation, and Escalation gives you ability to channel more and more and more, while at the same time you will be able to upgrade your damage. So after channeling for 2 seconds, your damage will be up to 150%, but channeling cost will be higher. One more point over here, amplification. Now you got tier 3 after 4 seconds of channeling, and basically you're doubling these bonuses, but also channeling cost will be a lot more. And at tier 3 you will have more chances to shock, ignite and slow enemies. But I'm not sure, I guess only ignite stuff will work, because we got only ignite node over here. Still, when you get additional points in Disintegrate with your gear, you can get 1 point in feedback, 1 point in temporal entrampment, and that's it basically. You will be completely fine, you will be able to slow and shock and ignite your enemies. So you can look on mana right now. I will be casting this Disintegration Ray. Now it's starting to get a lot more faster, depleting, and now level 3, like super powerful one, really crazy. And damage output is insane. Another early game skills you will be looking for and using is Flame Ward, Focus, and Teleport. And you want to level all of them. But at the same time, in early game, if you're having problems with managing your mana, you can use Lightning Blast that you got from the start of the game as your 0 mana cost skill. So, what other skills will do? Basically, when you're standing in one place, you're really vulnerable and possibly you will be in trouble against a lot of enemies. So Flame Ward is really nice stuff. It costs a little bit of mana, gets some cooldown, but you gain ward that will basically protect you. So pretty nice ward. It will be depleting over time a little bit, but still it's very nice. And also if enemies hit you, they will be inflicted with retaliation damage. Basically you like do damage on them, and most of the time you can go through early game. If you want to do it fast, just cast this like ward on yourself, run around, and you will kill small enemies easily only with the spell. But if you like this laser stuff like me, you need some mana, and that's where comes Focus. So when you're out of mana, you just press and hold your focus button and you will gain mana really fast. And then again, to escape from big batches of enemies, if you're in trouble, you can use teleport, just like that, or you can even teleport aggressively on enemies and travel through the map faster. So what and how we are leveling up the skills? Let's start with Flame Ward. Flame Ward is really easy to level up. First of all, because we're using Disintegrate, really mana cost spell, you want to go to the right side, get Stalwart Defense, just 1 point. You will get additional ward from this tree, but still, you get in this 1 point to go to the bottom right instantly and get Barrier. You take in less damage from hits. Very nice, so you are more protected right now. And you want to have like 3 points over here. I got 3 points, that's more than enough. Pretty nice defensive stuff. Then you want to get 3 points over here. When you're just leveling up, get 2 points in Barrier first, and then 3 points in Shoot Shielding to increase mana efficiency, to just reduce mana cost of this Flame Ward. Next note in this tree is Mental Ages, and you don't want a lot of points in here, because when Flame Ward is active, mana now absorbs damage, and you will be out of mana very fast if you're using a lot of these points in here, so you don't want this node, but you want at least 1 point to get to the last node, Worms. When Flame Ward is active, it's granting you increased mana regeneration. So now when you just need some mana, you're standing still, you will regain a lot more mana, that's why it's useful. And then basically finishing this tree to the bottom left, you get a Dilation. Flame Ward costs less mana, so mana efficiency. Energize. Flame Ward grants ward over time while active, so pretty nice stuff too. Basically it's ward retention, something like this. And then Recollection, ward retention plus 50%. So that's our ward skill. And then it will be combined very nicely with Focus. So Focus, I got only 15 levels right now in it, but again it's more than enough for you. You need only like 5 levels in Focus to get it really cool and fun. First of all, you want to get all points in Mana Flooded, and Revelation. Just go into these two nodes. Let's start with Revelation. So 4 points here, you get ward from burst. Basically, when you start channeling the spell, again, you're standing in one place, you're pretty vulnerable, but you're gaining some ward. And you also gaining some more mana, but only from burst. So what is burst actually? While you're channeling on focus, you're gaining 100% increased mana regeneration, basically doubling your mana regeneration. And again, if you're keeping up with me, when you're using flame ward, you get increased mana regeneration, and this stacks with focus. So basically, let me deplete all my mana. Now it's depleted. I will use flame ward and focus instantly. Look at my mana, just 2 seconds, and here we are. So after channeling for at least 4 seconds, we can release this button and we will get burst. I mean, for exactly 1 second. So after 1 second of using this ability, basically 1 second, we're gaining this burst and shield. So yep, there was a burst. And also it's nice to get energy infusion over here. So you gain 1 second of haste per 20 mana you gained while channeling, and maximum of 10 seconds. That's really powerful one if you just want to go and deplete all your mana and then replenish all your mana on the later stages of the game. Like myself right now, I'm having like 300 mana, I'm channeling, releasing this button and gaining like 10 seconds of haste. Really easy, really fun. Now I'm like running really fast. And then you want points over here. Mana Flooded, increase mana regeneration. Then 1 point in Desperate Meditation, increase mana regeneration per missing mana. Again, getting more mana means you will regain more mana. Very powerful stuff. And 1 point over here. You will increase cooldown of the spell, but still, when you're gaining negative mana, you will gain more mana more efficiently. You will replenish all your mana. And because you will be staying in tier 3 array a lot, and I mean really a lot of time, being able to get from negative mana to full mana is really cool ability. And then in all last points will be in Iron Stance to give you more armor when you're standing still and doing nothing, and then get like 5 points over here in Chilling Aura. Basically, you will get chances to chill enemies when they're hitting you, so it's protecting you from them. That's nice way to use focus in case you need to use it in battle or you don't want to like push off this button. So what about teleport? Teleport is really cool and fun. And honestly, I picked like fun teleport tree. And it's very possible that you probably want a lot of points located over here in this left part. But for fun, I got a lot of stuff in here. So let me show you my tree I'm using. But exactly for teleport, I'm not sure of how effective it is. Like, write me in the comments what do you think. So instantly from the teleport, I got a Resonant Plasma, we're increasing our Fire, Lightning and Stun avoidance. So Fire, Lightning resistance 25%, Stun avoidance 250, very nice. Then I like these two skills over here, Unexpected Copy and Decoy Position. Teleport cost will be higher, but you're placing Mirror Image on arrival and on departure. And also I got 2 points over here just to increase this mirror image duration. Again, if you want to use it defensively most of the time, it's very nice to stop enemies going after you. So you're just using teleport and there will be 2 decoys at the same time. So enemies will need to kill this one, then second one, and then only they can come to you. But at the same time, you just teleport it. Basically, you're using like all your skill and just melting them with lasers. So I hope it makes sense why I picked this tree. From the bottom, I like to get a little bit of ward over here. So teleport grants ward of on cast, 28 ward. And we have increased ward retention if we casted teleport past 4 seconds. That's why we get some skills over here. I got 4 and 1 here, but possibly it should be 3 and 2, something like this. Again, we're using some ward skills, and why not to have increased retention after teleport. And also I got some points over here. Crystalline Passage, we're getting cold resistance up, plus armor. So I got 3 points over here and 2 points in teleport costs less mana flicker. Very good start over here is time dilation, and again you can get more levels in teleport, maybe don't get stable duplicates, get levels in here, and with additional levels get some time dilation. Basically you're gaining more stat points after casting teleport. Stat points is really nice because intelligence is stat point and you're scaling your disintegrate with intelligence, so that's nice idea. And finally, how we're making our character super broken, it's Arcane Ascendance. You just press it, toggling it, and you will stay at one place. This will drain a lot of mana each second, normally when you're using it, but it's not draining my mana now. I will show you how to do it in a second. But what it's doing, basically, it's adding additional spell cost to all mana casts, but at the same time doubling spell damage and increasing cast speed, and that's big stuff. So when you're looking on Disintegrate, you see that it's scaling with Lightning Fire, Spell, Damage over time, Channeled, and Intelligence, but that's not it, guys. It's also scaling pretty hard with casting speed. That's why there's another secret stat that you need to get to make Disintegrate this broken. This means Arcane Ascendance basically buffing our skill like double, triple amount of time. But we can't have this luxury to have increased mana cost on Disintegrate. That's why when you're picking this skill, Arcane Ascendance, and that Sorcerer skill, basically a single Sorcerer skill in my build, you want to instantly go into Power Sprint and get 3 points over here, so it will increase haste duration, and you gain in haste after leaving this like standby position. That's very nice, so you're basically like triggering this stuff and you're gaining some haste, very powerful. But you want 3 points over here to get Equity. Equity no longer drains mana, but now you can cast only 4 spells before Arcane Ascendance ends, or after 12 seconds. Again, we don't care, we're casting only one spell most of the time, sometimes we're casting additional shield and sometimes teleport. So we got more than enough spells to cast from this position. To increase our damage even more, we're going to the left side, increased spell damage from higher plane, 5 points in here. Then we're going to Power Overload, increasing spell damage per second, and each second while this Arcane Equity is active, you can see it basically over here. So right now my damage is like 37k, I'm turning it on, it's 50k, and basically every second I'm gaining more and more and more and more damage. Every second it's active. And also unstable energy, you gain an increased cast speed each second while in this state. Again, you want cast speed to increase damage of Disintegrate, that's secret scaling, so you want to have it. And then you're going to the right side, basically you're reducing cooldown of this spell. That's very useful, so you want 5 points in here and your build is finished. Normally cooldown will be around like 6 seconds, something like that, and basically when you're getting into the state, you can turn off it manually, just press a button and you can run. But if you don't have this slow cooldown, like cooldown reduction over here, you won't be able to cast it every time. But now I can like cast it, I can do some lasers, I can turn it off, get away a little bit, turn it on, do some lasers, off, on, lasers, off, on, lasers, and so on and so on. Also, big part of this build is Arcane Momentum. You can see it over here, it's buff we're getting, we can get it up to 5 stacks, and at 5 stacks so we're getting increased casting speed, and this means increased casting speed so that we get more power in the spell. Again, look at the damage, we're getting like around 45k damage, like without any additional buff, but also I can like turn on all my spell, Arcane Equity, and look at the damage, around 60k already, and that's without cool gear. And how I'm getting these all buffs, Arcane Equity, it's of course from my passives. Let's see how my passives is distributed. So we're going and starting from Mage. Mage is really important over here, and you want to get some points in Mage before getting into Sorcerer levels. Honestly, with this build, you don't even need to rush into Sorcerer tree, you can have fun in this tree, it's like pretty stable and standard buffs. Or if you want to jump into Sorcerer, you want to have 5, 5, 5, and 5 over here. So, Scholar, no-brainer, you're gaining more health, more mana, just like simple buff. Elementalist, increased fire damage, cold damage, and lightning damage. Again, you Disintegrate doing fire and lightning damage, at least it should do this damage, and this will increase damage of Disintegrate pretty nicely. And Arcanist, increasing your intelligence and resistance to fire and lightning, very nice stuff. Then you're going to get 5 levels in Mage Flurry, increasing attack speed and cast speed, mostly of course we're using it for cast speed. So I'm really happy I tested it, because I read on Last Epoch Tools that this skill magically should scale with casting speed. It's not scaling with casting speed, so you don't need casting speed for this build. I'm instantly like respecting this spell. That's very good. Basically, we got 5 points. So anyway, you want Sun and Storms over here. You deal increased fire and lightning damage, no brainer when using Disintegrate. And then you can like completely freely jump into Sorcerer. That's actually where we will allocate our 5 points. I already see note over here that I will use, but not now. First of all, Arcane Momentum. When you cast a spell, you gain a stack of Arcane Momentum for 2 seconds. That's basically note we were looking for. Arcane Momentum increases your cast speed. I guess we need to go to Champion's Gate to test this stuff. So that's Training Dummy. If we just cast the spell, we're doing around like 1k damage. Okay, but if we get all these stacks, what will happen? It's getting higher and higher. So we definitely can stack with Arcane Momentum, but for some reason normal cast speed is not working. So I don't know how it works, but again, this rune works, this note works for me, so I guess I can recommend it. Oh, this makes sense. Okay, so we get an Arcane Momentum stacks, not to get these stacks mostly, but to get this Essence of Celerity. We increasing spell damage per stack of Arcane Momentum and increasing duration of the stacks, and also increasing move speed at maximum stacks. That's why we want 5 points here, and that's why we're getting more damage from this node. Okay, finally I got it. I should actually research it before I'm doing a video, but again, I thought everything working correctly and just found it right now. Also, we want to have everything on the top because again, we're focusing mostly on fire stuff, increasing fire damage over here and increasing ignite chance with Pyromancer, continuing into Lavamancer to increase our fire penetration and fire damage leech. A little bit of damage leech is not a bad stuff to have. Also, we can have 8 points in Inferno, increasing damage over time. It's not our main damage source, but still, igniting enemies not a bad idea, and duration will be increased. And Arcane Insight, just to get +10 intelligence. That's our main idea. And also, we having like chance when we're hitting enemies to get this Insight buff that will increase by 20% elemental damage. So very nice buff to have. Then we're going a little bit to the down here for getting Spell Slinger, spell damage per +5 and increasing mana regeneration. And down here, Archmage, spell damage +5. And also value tripled if you're having more than 20 maximum, 200 maximum mana. I'm having more than 200 maximum mana, that's what you want to have in your build. And also in this tree you want to have mana shell, just increase your mana and armor to get this 200 mana as fast as possible. And also our 5 points will be allocated over here to get more intelligence. And look, right now we got 37k damage, and we will make it even more by allocating 5 points over here. Now plus like 500 damage per second, very nice. And also increasing our spell critical strike chance per intelligence by 3%. And again, you may think that critical strike chance is a waste for this build. Mostly it is, but still. Disintegrate can't crit. That's really important stuff that you need to know. Disintegrate never crits. But, so get these points when you get your item, and possibly you will get it anyway. It's late game points, and before late game you want some points in Runemaster. I suggest getting a little bit of Sphere of Protection to gain more health and to take less damage from ignited or shocked or chilled enemies, and you igniting them with your Disintegrate, so that's nice. Passive to have, and also Rune of Renewal, increasing health regeneration by 12% and mana regeneration. And when you get up to 50 intelligence, you doubling these bonuses, so pretty nice buff over here. You can even max out this Rune of Renewal for more mana regeneration. Basically, you're looking for some values that will deplete your mana completely, and then you can regain it with focus in like 1 second at best. And that's it. This crazy Disintegrate Sorcerer is ready to go and basically melt down enemies. I hope you enjoyed this video and watch other cool videos on the screen right now.